Week 7 already. Holy cow. It never gets less surprising, if I'm being honest, that it's just going so fast. Oh, Tyler, Kyle, how you guys doing, man? Men?
Good. Doing good. I'm sad that we're getting deeper and deeper in the season so fast, though, for real. Like, you wait, it feels like an eternity every year. Now we're almost halfway there. Like, and most of my teams are completely shitting the bed every week. Or if they play well, I'm playing a high score. Like, the odds of that are crazy.
Honestly, I think that's what makes it worse. Not only does it go fast, but it's disappointing while it's going on.
It's like you put all this time and energy into research and analytics and all this stuff, and then just the most random bullshit happens, and you're like, really? Like,
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Tyler, you having any luck this year?
Man, I am having pretty good luck, except for in the leagues that I drafted Austin Eckler in. Those I'm hoping will have an uptick in success. But this past week, I ended up losing one of my close leagues by 3 because Eckler couldn't get it in the freaking end zone.
Thanks, Miles D.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that. I'm glad he didn't get it in the end zone. I have him in a couple leagues, Eckler, and I did not need him to score to win in either of those leagues, so I'm feeling good about it. Everything worked out right for me in last night's game, fantasy points-wise and in real life, so I'm happy about that. That doesn't happen very often. All right, guys, so we labeled tonight's stream Tough Decisions. There's a couple reasons for that. Right now teams are looking at, I know we had some questions last night, looking at 1-5, 0-6. Can I even come back? There's been all kinds of injuries and stuff. There's a lot of tough decisions to be made right now. What are you doing with your season? What are you doing with these players? Who are you starting? Because you've got surprise players like Thielen, who you're looking to start over Garrett Wilson and Olave and stuff. There's so many tough decisions having to be made now at this juncture of the season. So I bet we have to talk about a lot of that tonight. But we do have SoCal Ball Nerd up in here and Albert. What's up, fellas? Thanks for joining us.
What's up, SoCal?
Over on Instagram, we have Giacomo Sapio. What's up, man? He's already got a question in for us, so let's maybe hit that up really quick. And
I just have to say real quick, SoCal Ball Nerd, like, I always want Cal and Ball to rhyme for some reason when I read it in my head.
So-called
It's
ball.
always so-called ball or SoCal Bow. I don't know why.
I need more cowbell. Okay, anyways. I traded Kittle, Garrett, Chuba for Swift and Hawkinson because I need running backs. Okay, so traded Kittle, Garrett, and Chuba for Swift and Hawkinson. So Kittle to Hawkinson, okay, and Chuba to Swift, I like that, and then Garrett's thrown in there. I say thrown in there, right? So Garrett's the odd man out there, if not a straight across.
I mean, honestly, if you needed a running back that bad.
Yeah, and if you had the wide receiver depth, I don't hate it.
If you get some receiver depth, like you improved your tight end, and Garrett and Chuba for Swift is a good deal, I think, if you need a running back. So I like it.
I mean, I think you greatly improved at running back and tight end.
Yeah.
I was not a Swift person. I'm still not a Swift person.
I wasn't either.
I do like Swift over Hubbard, and it feels like the Eagles are starting to use Swift more and more and more.
Yep.
So I mean, it's almost like you got to roll with it because we know Hubbard is going to be in a timeshare with Sanders, even if he is the better player. So I mean, I would rather take the guaranteed touches, and Swift's getting more and more work.
Honestly, I'm not a Chuba guy either, so I'm not a believer in that.
I'm not a believer in Chuba, but coming into the season, I didn't want any part of Swift because, one, I thought it was going to be a more crazy splitting of carries in that backfield.
Yeah.
And I didn't trust him to stay healthy. So far, he's proved me wrong in both. But for how long?
Expand your horizons, Tyler Bradley.
That's Jaeger over on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. He's Jaeger is one of those infamous players that you play with that is like always about the smack talk. Like it doesn't matter what's going on, he is smack talking. He could be losing by 100 points and he's still smack talking. Like that's just. But
he's like, you only beat me by 100, you piece of crap. Like
your team sucks.
He's like, you beat me, but I'll see you in the playoffs. Let's go.
Playoffs? I'm not talking about playoffs. We do have Marcy up in the house. What's up, Marcy?
What's up, Marcy?
Dropping in here.
What do you do?
Always appreciate it. A fellow Okie, I do believe. So, we also have Bronson. What's up, Bronson? Trade Stafford with either Purdy, T-Law, or Geno for Burrow. It's a two QB league.
You can do it with Geno. I'd do it.
Yeah, I would do Stafford and Geno. Keep T-Law and Purdy.
Although having that much depth in a 2 QB league is pretty nice, though.
I agree.
Almost hold them hostage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a defensive move more than anything. Probably needing to clear a roster spot would be my guess. Trying to do a 2-for-1 to clear a roster spot would be my guess.
It's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah,
like, if you need to clear a spot, I get it, but otherwise, like the more QBs you have, the fewer your opponents have. So,
Marcy,
I don't play in 2 QB leagues often, but when I do, I hoard as many QBs as possible.
Yeah, no doubt. Marcy, I'm also in OKC. How fun is that? Kyle's about 45 minutes away, but I'm also in OKC. Who knew? Maybe we should grab a beer sometime. But you're an OSU fan, so.
Hey, but Marcy, though, to make up for it, she is a Cowboys fan.
Oh, hey!
She's a double Cowboy.
This week I told her I would give her a shout out. This week she learned who Brandon Cooks was.
No.
They finally threw him the ball. They went and got him in the offseason. He's been playing a few weeks already and finally threw him the ball. Go figure.
Dang. We got Wendy in the house as well. What's up, Wendy?
What's up, Wendy?
All right, let's see. Don John says, should I trade Mike Evans or DK Metcalf for Jefferson? I'm 4-2. I'm desperate to he's desperate to get rid of Jefferson. Hell yeah, get rid of Mike Evans for.
Say it again. I missed it.
Okay, he's 4-2.
Uh-huh.
Should he trade Mike Evans or DK Metcalf to get Jefferson? The guy is desperate to get rid of Jefferson.
Yeah, I'd trade either one of them.
Yeah, I would trade either one of them. Give him his choice. Oh, that's funny. But which one would you rather trade? Which one would you rather keep?
I'd rather trade Evans, probably.
What are you thinking there, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Evans is a higher ceiling guy, but DK will be more consistent for you. I'd rather keep that, I think, right now.
I agree. And he has a better playoff schedule. I don't know if that really matters much to you, but all right, let's see. No problem, man. We got you. Okay, let's come back over here. Already did Bronson's. All right, Dole Guitar. Trade Travis Kelce, Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas for George Kittle, Taylor Cooper. Thoughts? Dynasty. Okay. Traded away Kelce. Dalvin Cook is a nobody, so that's good. Michael Thomas.
Love it for Dynasty.
Yeah, this is great. Getting Jonathan Taylor back there.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm with it.
It's a great move.
Yeah, because Michael Thomas, Amari Cooper, you upgraded there.
Dalvin Cook and Michael Thomas have basically no value in Dynasty at this point.
Yeah, you essentially traded Kelce for Kittle, Jonathan Taylor, and Amari Cooper. I like it.
And Kelsey's aging. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think you did well. I Live and Die by Dak this year. Playing it risky.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Tyler would say it's going to pay off.
I say it paid off last week. Look, hey, let me give, since he's watching the show. So last week when we talked about quarterbacks, you guys know we talked about it already. I was on my own little island saying, hey, play Dak this week.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yes.
You did, but it was over somebody.
But hold on.
Like tour or something.
So out of all the chats that we got, and all, SoCal Ball Nerd was right there, and he was like, "Yes, play Dak. Tell him, Tyler." And so I gotta give a shout out to SoCal Ball Nerd.
You want him to rhyme too.
I know, SoCal Ball Nerd. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for believing in Dak this past week. He got it done for us, or at least semi, because the quarterback position as a whole was really not great this last week. I mean, 20-something points led the league, and depending on which if you're a 4-point touchdown or 6-point touchdown, either Dak finished number 1 or number 3 quarterback on the week. So it was a good play. I will say I don't believe in Dak to be a good play every week. He has his problems, but at least this week he salvaged with the vulture Tony Pollard touchdown, which was a great read option play, and happened to throw one too.
To be fair, in a normal quarterback week, 24 points would not have been enough to get him in the top 5, probably.
But you would be happy with it.
You got lucky. Everybody else just sucked.
Okay, we'll leave that alone. I won't say anything else. I'm just glad I went for the Cowboys.
Well, if you're gonna brag,
fans didn't go for the Cowboys.
If you're gonna brag, now you have to, take your comeuppance.
I will say this:
wrong. So
I was wrong. I said Dak this week, but I also said that the Cowboys would score 30 points. They did not score 30 points, so I was wrong about that. But
among other things, anyways, So Matt, also I just posted there on the Facebook thing. There's a little link there that you can click and authorize Facebook to post your name on our stream here, so that it'll show up when you're posting, hopefully. So Facebook's really difficult.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, that way you're not showing up as Facebook user, especially since
they just sell your info at will until you want your name on a chat screen, and then they're like, "Oh no, we can't do that though. Got to draw the line somewhere."
Oh man, Marcy, yeah, you got to come back to OKC. Double Cowboys, Rangers won. Yeah, still just don't care about baseball.
Baseball still doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Oh man, let's see, Joseph. Why you sorry, man? Thanks for popping in here. Appreciate it. Quick question: trade Thielen for Puka last week and already regretting it. Did I mess up? Probably.
I think it's fine. I mean,
no, I don't know. I think I went Thielen over Puka right now.
Hey, I mean those targets. Probably those targets. I will say Puka did drop a touchdown in the end zone. Otherwise, his fantasy week is a lot better.
Yeah.
But man,
a lot of
Thielen.
Yeah,
goodness, Thielen.
Thielen's just racking it up, man. It's annoying and awesome all at the same time.
We said it on every one of our shows this week. Whenever we had start sits, we all said start Thielen because we knew they would be playing from behind. We knew they were going to be throwing a lot, and boy, did they highlight Thielen.
I don't think Carolina's ever going to play with a lead this season, so they're going to be chucking the ball all year.
Yeah, I started Thielen in every league I have him in, which is only 2, but it's enough to win league.
I don't own him in a single league, which is unfortunate.
If you were going to trade him, though, Puka's not a bad target. So though we are repping Thielen, I like Matt Stafford throwing the ball a lot more than Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And Puka's been electric all season, not just a couple games. So don't feel bad about the trade. It's a good trade. And I will say this, if this somehow is a dynasty league, it's a great trade.
If it's a dynasty league, I definitely love it. But even, like you say, most weeks Puka's going to do better than he did this week.
No, yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Crazy Carl. Any thoughts on A-Chain for Devontae Smith? It depends on what your roster layout is, but I think that
in a vacuum, I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah, I like that. It
depends on what you need. I can't tell from reading this which side you're getting or whatever. It depends on what you need for your roster, but in a vacuum, I think it's plenty fair.
Yep. Agree. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. Evans goes crazy for fantasy playoffs, but either is awesome. Yep. Pollard and Terry for Keenan and Jerome Ford. Who wins?
I want Keenan and Ford.
Yeah.
Pollard is better than Ford, but I think the Keenan to Terry difference is much larger. Keenan's a fucking target machine, bro.
He really is. And really, I mean, I hate to say this right now, but unless Dallas gets their crap together on offense, I mean, Pollard's not living up to what he was supposed to this year. And that offense is in disarray, man. It just doesn't look good.
Well, we talked about it in the last show, Pollard's in a system that Pollard doesn't play in. Mike McCarthy wants to run hard. He wants to run up the middle. He wants Pollard to play like Zeke, right? But that's not Pollard's style. And Tyler Smith has been very underwhelming in the center of that offensive line at guard. And so, he's just not being used. And then the one play that we did see Pollard do what Pollard does was a pass. Just get the guy in space. And that's what Kellen Moore did. He highlighted Pollard in space, and he changed that style up. And so that's why Pollard was so successful. I think that this year's going to be tough for Pollard. It's going to be a lot of 3-yard carries, a lot of 2-yard carries up the middle until somebody wakes up and plays him like he should.
Well, and that's the thing we've been saying all year too as Cowboys fans is Mike McCarthy doesn't know how to scheme for those things.
So bad.
Like when you watch the Niners, for example, Shanahan knows how to play to every one of his players' strengths. And that's how he makes a game plan. Mike McCarthy's just like, I want to do this. I don't give a shit what you're good at, and we're just going to grind the ball up the middle. And it's like that's not Pollard's game. So
no, McCarthy's driving me nuts, dude.
He's killing us.
So, okay, let's see. Keen's Bean says I traded Myers for Gibbs today. Thoughts? Jacoby Myers for Gibbs?
Yeah, I take Gibbs there.
Yeah.
If you have a plethora of wide receivers, yes, I think Myers is definitely scoring more points, but Myers also just lost his quarterback for we don't know how long.
Yeah, and Myers you probably picked up off the waivers, so that's good value.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if Monty misses significant times, Gibbs is going to be a machine.
Yep. Let's see. Chandler, let's see. So I ended up getting Burrow last night. We could only hold 2 QBs, so now I have Burrow and Fields, and Burrow is on bye week. So he went after Burrow instead of Josh Allen. We like those Allen trades a lot more last night. I hope you didn't trade away too much. Let's see. Would you trade Burrow, Kittle, and Mike Evans and Debo for hold on. Where's the next one here?
It's the yeah.
For Herbert, St. Brown, and Kirk. So that's
part of that.
Burrow, Kittle, Mike Evans, and Debo for Herbert, St. Brown, and Kirk.
Who's your other tight end?
I was about to ask the exact same.
Yeah, I want to know who your other tight end is. But I feel like if
you have a good tight end, I like it.
I feel like it's Ingram or something. Chandler, who's your other tight end? Hurry, quick, go. Oh, look, Noah Bonecutter's on here. What's up, man?
Bonecutter.
I love it. I love seeing you on here. Usually over on IG with us. Now he's over on YouTube. I like it. Chandler, you got to let us but we can come back to that. Let's come back to that. I think Matt, I think you might have to probably leave and come. I don't know why it's not doing it. Don't worry about it. We know it's you. We're keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I'll let you know if it's anybody else. Right now, Matt's with us.
I like
Matt's
it, Matt.
pumping out some good questions too.
All right, here we go. I did want to talk about this. What do you make of Julio signing with the Eagles?
I didn't even know that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Not very long ago.
Let me tell you what all happened today because it was absolutely nuts. The amount of signings or moves that happened today.
It's like they were making tough decisions, you know?
Well, so I'm going to run through these real quick. So today, I guess this past weekend, Lenny worked out for the Bills. Today, James Robinson signed with the Packers practice squad. Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman signed with the Rams practice squad. Anthony Miller and 3 other wide receivers signed with the Colts. Kenyon Drake signed with Baltimore on their practice squad. And I guess they weren't happy with Bagent's play. The Bears signed Tracy McSorley to the practice squad, and Julio was signed to the Eagles active roster. My phone lit up all day with these kind of updates, and it was a day where, like, all of a sudden the NFL decided, hey, we're going to go grab a bunch of veterans and bring them on players. And some of these players have been, like, Darrell Henderson has won me games in fantasy. Julio won me games in fantasy. J-Rob won me games in fantasy. Like it's not no names that we're seeing. Like, there was a lot of big transactions today. Rams also picked up Myles Gaskin, which is not that huge of a deal, but I mean, they grabbed 3 running backs.
Yep. And then did you say Kenyon Drake was released by the Ravens? Did you say
No, he was picked up on their practice squad.
Oh, I have Ravens released Kenyon Drake 6 hours ago.
They might have released him from the active and then picked him back up on the practice then.
I don't know. That's not what it says. But
or they released him after they signed him to the practice squad for some reason. Maybe he didn't pass a physical or something. I don't know. But Julio to Philly, like, I feel like that's going to be a non-factor, honestly. But it's interesting. I don't think I'm worried about picking him up. Unless
it sounds more like an insurance policy of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, if AJ or Devontae gets hurt, I could see him, getting some play, but otherwise, I don't really see it making a difference.
No, but it's a wild day. Agreed. So, that's crazy.
Man, I like Julio over Olamide Zaccheaus as wide receiver 3 for that team.
Yeah. Let's see. Jugs. Hey, he's 2-4 now. Awesome.
Hey.
I think that's a sad face after. So I don't remember what they were before. Must have been 2-3. So
it's okay. You're a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger and you can change your destiny, okay?
That's right. Just call on your Dragon Zord and destroy the rest of the league.
That's funny. Is Kelsey for Pacheco and Laporta a good trade? I need a running back bad.
I'm okay with that.
I don't hate it.
If you need a running back that bad, like that's pretty good value to get Laporta back. So yeah.
I mean, and honestly, Pacheco's
killing it right now.
He's solid, dude. Like he's doing really good. And if I remember correctly, I really like his schedule going forward too. So let's see. Just looking at his running back schedule here, maybe. Yeah, I don't hate it. So yeah, I don't hate that because Laporta is doing well. So I'm about it. Let's see. He'll be a wide receiver 3 right away with all the wide receiver injuries they have already. Yeah, I mean he'll step in there.
Hopefully the wide receiver 3 spot in that offense is just not a very lucrative spot for fantasy.
Yeah, he'll be their 5th receiving option. So behind Smith, Brown, Goddard, Swift, and then there's Julio Jones. So
yeah,
he's pretty far down the pecking order there. So
as Julio a deep waiver grab though, I would grab him. Like he's going to be rostered in like 0% of leagues.
I
you spending any fab to grab him though?
I could see stashing him if it's like a 14 or 16 team league, but in 12 teamers and less, I don't think he'll be a factor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not wasting a roster spot on him, honestly.
I'm not wasting fab on him
because he's never going to be in my starting lineup. Period.
Yeah.
He won't even go into my flex or anything. Like he will never touch my starting lineup in anything other than a 16-team league.
He's just a name at this point in his career, I feel like.
I mean, there's a reason why he's just kind of been sitting out there until now.
Last time he played, he couldn't keep his damn leg from falling off. So his
literally fell off on the field.
His hammy said nope, and then it just fell off on the field.
Oh my god!
A lot like Aaron Rodgers' foot did.
That's funny. The visual I got with that was quite interesting. Okay, so Let's talk about some of these tough decisions right now. I feel like we got a lot of questions last night of, I'm sitting at 1-5. What do I do? And Tyler, I even referenced where you said last year, I think you even had a couple teams where you're sitting at 0-6.
Yeah.
And still made playoffs. It's been some really good teams that are sitting at 2-4 right now, 1-5 just because of bad luck. They've been sitting on injured players that are just coming back from injured reserve, and so they're starting to get their teams back. But it's tough decisions. Do you start working toward next season? Do you start trading away your started players? Because some people, man, they just cling to that one-star player. I've got a team in one of my leagues. They have Tyreek Hill, but they're 0-6. But they won't move on from Tyreek Hill. And it's like that one player is not carrying your team to victory. Like, they're fantastic, but you need to trade them in for like 3 players that you can rely on from week to week. And so those are some of the tough decisions. Tyler, when you were 0-6 last year, what was kind of your strategy with that? What was your scenario?
One, I'd worked waivers. Like you work waivers and like you can win in waivers, even if it's just like getting a player to trade a player 2 weeks later. Like you can work yourself back. And then here's where people mess up. And I say it all the time. You have to stick with your people. Like the people that you came in and that you believe in their talent level, you got to stick with them. But what happens is a down week or like 2 down weeks, and then we're trading them off. And you're trading them off for some semblance of lesser players, or you're trading one person for 2 lesser players, hoping to get depth, which is not what you needed. What you need points per position played, right? And so you got to figure out how to climb that up. So, also working trades, you finding where you can couple a couple players, right, and get a big upgrade. Don't forget, everybody's dealing with injuries just like you. Everybody has bye weeks just like you. So, you got to keep grinding it out and just not give up. It's so easy to give up and don't do it. I saw there was a guy on the Advice Network the other day. It was like, oh, I started 0-4. Like, my season is done. I'm quitting fantasy football. He literally messaged me. He was like, hey, I think I'm gonna quit the app because I'm already lost. There's no way I can win. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, it's week 5 at that point. Like, what are you talking about? Like, pick yourself up, put it together.
Yeah.
Kyle, you were talking about last night just how close points can be, how you can jump a position, just one win can jump you up multiple positions.
Yeah, like pretty much all my leagues. You've got a couple of like 4-win teams at the top. You got a whole slew of 3-win teams and a whole slew of 2-win teams, and then like 1 or 2 1 winners at the bottom. But like all of those ties, you win one game, and all of a sudden you're jumping from 8th to 6th, and you're in the playoffs because of points and all of that. So things can change very, very fast.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of clusters in these leagues, like you said, where you've got kind of your top, where you've got your undefeated or maybe 1-loss teams. You got maybe 1 or 2 of those, and then you've got a cluster of these 4-2, 3-3s, 2-3, and it's just a big glob of teams that are kind of really close. And really, those point differentials are really close still too. So, like you said, those unless your team has just been sucking, and your point differential, if you're so far behind in points, that would be the only scenario where I'm like, you might be a little screwed. But if your points 4 is pretty good and you just are unlucky and your points against is really high. I know I have multiple leagues where I've had the most points scored against me out of everybody in the league by like a long shot, right? And so sometimes you're just unlucky. And so those are all things to take into consideration at this point in the season.
Me and you were looking in a couple of leagues we're in together where it's like there's a couple of teams at the top. The top team in each of those leagues has not one of the best teams, but they just have the fewest points against them by a long shot. So it's like if they start playing against teams that that start scoring some points, they're going to drop pretty fast, and suddenly, oh my God, it's a race. I mean, yeah, it's crazy out there for real.
Yeah. Now, Tyler, what do you think about maybe trading away a star like that if you are struggling? I don't know. I just see teams cling to a star for too long. Or do you kind of stick with your strategy, kind of what you were talking about earlier, and just keep believing in the players that you have, that they'll make that comeback?
So it just depends on the player. So a lot of the times I'm evaluating when I think a player is close to being done, and that's when I'm trading them. Like you look at like a Kelsey. I think Kelsey could be a league winner for 2 more years. You look at Tyreek. Tyreek could still be relevant. But I mean, like if I look at my team and I've got one stud, like all I have is Tyreek Hill, then yeah, maybe I'm dishing them and I'm trying to get a couple of young players that I think like a buy low right now, JSN. Everybody's falling off JSN. I think JSN has the talent level. So if you get JSN, you get a next year first, and maybe like a Laporta. Are you letting Hill go? Are you letting Kelsey go for that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're even in redraft.
I was thinking more redraft than dynasty for sure.
Dynasty's a lot different, but like for redraft, I think you have to let those go sometimes because it's like, yeah, we want to play and it's fun and you want your guys, but at the same time, if you're not trying to win, what's the point, right?
Well, but
if your whole team is hurt and you need players and all you got is Hill, it also depends. Okay, are you that type like Tyler was talking about earlier? Can you play the waiver wire and rebuild and come back? Or is your best option to trade and get a couple of guys and flip one of them for a couple more guys and try to rebuild that way? Well, Some people aren't good traders or waiver players, and they just suck, and they'll ride Hill into the dirt. I mean, that's just how.
But if you ain't trying, like, what's the point? Why are you even playing if you're not trying to make moves? At that point, I mean, yeah, you might make the wrong move, but you're 0-6, you're 1-5 at this point. Maybe it's time to start making some moves. Take some risks.
I am for making a move. I'm for making a move. But if I have an elite top 3 player at a position, like it is going to take an astronomical amount to get that from me because still your roster to accrues to points per position started, right? And so I want the most points per block that I have to play each week. And I think some of those can be made up in the waiver. But if you've got like a solid like 20 to 30 a week hitting, like I'm keeping that person unless, like I said, that 20 to 30 a week in one position changes to like, 18 to 22 a week in 3 positions. You know what I mean? That's the only way that I make that kind of move.
But I think you have to, I think diversifying is your safer bet because if that one player goes down to an injury or something happens that 1 week, I mean, it's putting too many eggs in one basket to rely on that week in and week out, in my opinion. I think that's a dangerous game to play.
My strategy in that situation, I take Tyreek Hill. I go to the deepest team in the league that has a good record, and it's like, here's your missing link, the guy that can afford to pay half his bench for this top 3 guy that also helps your team out a whole lot.
That's what I'm thinking too. You cash in because that team is going to pay a lot, and they're going to give you 4 starters for 1. And now your team is rebuilt. Maybe you're competing and you have more things to trade with. Then you have more trade pieces to then go make other deals instead of just this one guy that everyone wants, anyways, that's just a conversation I kind of want to have really quick. We got some more questions rolling in here. So let's pop over to that really quick. So Jorge, I'll come back to your first one there, but I want to touch on something really quick. He says 4-2. Now and 6-0 in another. Thanks for all the help. Awesome. I'd love that. 6-0. Nice. He says we'll see him.
I'm still waiting on my part of last year's cut, bro.
Yeah, your winnings from last year. We'll take a cut this year too.
Hey, look. If you win, there's no reason you're not a pro member of fantasyfootballadvice.com next year.
I was going to say, for real, we won it for him last year. We gave him an app this year, and I still haven't got my cut. What's up with that?
We can't even get $3 a month out of this guy, I tell you. Okay, so he says, will CMC be okay? I got Mitchell on the bench. And this is also kind of being asked over here. People asking about picking up Mitchell on waiver wire. This guy's got the third waiver pick priority. Is it worth spending it on Mitchell?
Yes. I would rather have Mitchell than Mason. Oh, excuse me. And I'd rather have either one than Craig Reynolds. But I think those are kind of your three top waiver picks this year.
So here's my
this week. I said this year, this week.
Here's my thing. Yeah, CMC is probably, my guess he's still probably going to play in week 7. They only play till Monday night. So they're saying there's a good chance he plays. So even if he's on a limited snap count, you're getting a split.
Mitchell's worth having regardless.
With Mitchell and
just as insurance.
Yeah.
The only reason Mason was really a thing is because Mitchell was banged up a bit.
I mean, Mitchell had negative 0.3 points against Cleveland. Mitchell has 8.3 points on the season so far. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that he's worth it.
Well, no, he's only worth it if CMC gets hurt.
Right. But, so are you spending your third waiver priority? Are you spending that now on Mitchell, or are you holding out for something that might be better later on?
I don't think there's much better later on to be had at this point.
Well, I mean, if people keep going down, there's going to be much better to be.
But I'm trying to think of all the starting running backs in the league, the backups that would be left on waivers. Are any of them going to step up and be a stud like a Jerome Ford or a Kyron Williams, or you know what I mean? Like
maybe at the beginning of the season, we weren't saying Kyron Williams would be that guy.
I just think like
surprise.
anybody that goes down now, you're looking at a 2 or 3 head committee behind them, and it's like, you know.
I will say this. Any running back in a Kyle Shanahan offense is going to be successful.
Now we just got to say who's going to get the carries.
If I'm choosing who's going to get the carries, I'm going with the person that was getting carries when CMC was healthy, which was Mitchell. Mason got carries last week because Mitchell's been out. When CMC went down, they got Mitchell out there, even though they didn't really want to play him this week because he was still working back from injury, and they got him out there for only a few snaps. I think that they're happier, or like the coach has more confidence in Mitchell, even though Jordan Mason seemed to have some positive play. The coaching staff's more apt to play Mitchell if healthy. So, but to me, I mean, I'm not really focused on either of them because it is CMC's 70-80% snap share if he's healthy. And I can tell you this, if I know anything, CMC is not going to just sit out on a twisted ankle. He's going to be like, take me up, let me go. Like CMC's going to want to play, and they're going to have to be like, no, you can't, if he needs to get healthier. But they're going to play him. I'm not really worried about either one of these guys. If I could get like if Josh Palmer's on waivers, I would rather have a Josh Palmer. I'd rather spend my money there.
I'm thinking the same. I think there's other players better than spending on a San Francisco running back right now.
Here's what I'm thinking people are tripping up on the disparity, though, between Mitchell and Mason. Is they saw Mason have a touchdown and a bunch of good carries against the Dallas defense that had given up at the end of that game. And so they're like, oh, but he's not. Elijah Mitchell's a better running back. Shanahan should be more. He's the one to own if you want a CMC backup.
No, I would agree with that. But I'm still kind of more interested in like Tajay Spears. How do you guys feel about Zach Evans?
There's no way Spears is still on waivers anywhere.
I mean, possible. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about if we're going to get backups.
I never understood the hype on Zach Evans.
No.
He was never a starter in college. Why is everybody so jacked up on Mountain Dew about him in the pros? I don't understand it.
So I want to give a shout out to my guy Seth over at In Between Media. I just got off their show before this one. That's why I'm wearing their brand hat. Want to support them. They're an awesome group over there. But, he tweeted today. He's like, so you're telling me we're supposed to spend up for a former 5-star recruit who was beaten out at 2 different schools and missed me on Zach Evans. And I think
that's good.
Yep.
like a 5-star recruit doesn't define your NFL effectiveness. We've seen that over and over and over again. I'm not buying. Let me tell you this. If the Rams were bought in on Zach Evans, do you think they would have went today and signed Darrell Henderson, Royce Freeman, and freaking Myles Gaskin?
Right.
No, they wouldn't have. They would have been like, "Oh, we believe in Zach Evans."
Exactly.
They signed 3 other people.
You're right. That's
like
exactly
we have
right.
to find a hope. We got to find a hope and a prayer. Let's bring everybody in. Let's see how they do.
Yep.
No, I'm not feeling it with Zach Evans.
No. All right. Let's go over here. Jorge. He says trading Lamb, Stevenson, Schultz for Brown, Metcalf, Ford.
I think I've seen like 8 or so different combinations of the same trade.
Look, he wants to trade Lamb, but he just can't do it.
Lamb, Stevenson for Brown, Metcalf, Ford, essentially.
Hey, Schultz had a good game.
He had. What, Kyle?
I don't know what his tight end is if he trades Schultz.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Or if he needs another receiver, but
yeah. I feel like he's got a pretty good tight end if he trades.
If he's got a good tight end, getting rid of Schultz, like I'm fine with it. AJ Brown, I like. Ford and Stevenson, samesies. Like,
I think I like Stevenson more there.
I'd probably, if you don't need a tight end, I like Metcalf over Schultz.
Yeah,
that's where you win.
All right. Also, no way. Over on Instagram. No way. Burn my 4th waiver priority for Browns defense. Right. I would not burn a 4th waiver priority.
I'd never use waiver on defense or kickers.
It's not worth it. All right. Fake name here says, sorry. Should I start Brown, London, Amari Cooper, or Hollywood Brown? That's Hollywood Brown. Sorry. Hollywood Brown, London, Amari Cooper. I'm guessing we got to pick one. I'm looking here. Hollywood Brown is playing Seattle.
I forgot who London plays. Where's it at?
London is playing
Tampa. It's at Tampa Bay. Yeah, I'm out on London. Cooper against Indy is nice, but I think I'm going Hollywood against Seattle.
Yeah, I think I'm going Hollywood there.
Especially since I don't think Deshaun Watson's supposed to be back either, right?
As far as I know, not. That's why I'm not picking Cooper. But
yeah, I'll go Brown. I like Cooper a lot. It's hard between those two, but I guess I'll flinch and go Brown slightly over Cooper for Dobbs over PJ Walker.
There you go.
And there's no confusion in this week because there's no London game, so I know he means.
There you go.
London this week.
though at least London has been getting some points finally lately.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's see. Jorge said 5-1, just traded Keenan Allen for Waddle. Hold on. I thought he said he was 4-2 in one league, 6-0 in another.
Well, maybe this is a third league.
I am so confused, Jorge.
I keep Keenan Allen. Allen.
You used to only have one league. Now he's 3.
Now he's 3.
Yeah, if it's Dynasty, I do this trade. If not, I keep Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is killing.
Yeah, redraft Keenan Allen's probably the way to go.
Yeah, probably so. All right, I'm going to jump down here to Xavier really quick. Let's see. Xavier, should I trade CD for Jefferson? 9-team league. Interesting.
9 team?
He followed that up with he also has Ayuk and Cooper. So I guess he would be surviving on Ayuk and Cooper until JJ gets back.
Honestly, if you can ride Ayuk and Cooper,
I would be curious to know what your record is right now. Like, is this a move you can afford?
Like, can you take a couple losses?
Yeah,
It's
can you
3-2.
take a couple losses here? Xavier, let us know what your
3-2.
he's
3-2. He's 3-2. I think I would.
I think I do it, man. At
With
3-2,
Cooper, and you're at 3-2, and I'm sure he's got a couple more receivers on his bench. Like,
I'm not hating it.
I love CeeDee Lamb, but that's you gotta do it, I think.
So I'm gonna be on the other side. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here.
Okay,
at
let's hear
3-2, you're a medium. You know, you can't afford to take too many losses. You got to fight for the playoffs. I think in the real NFL, Dallas is fighting for playoffs and fighting to be relevant. I don't know that the Vikings will be that this year. So which gives me concern that they don't rush JJ back. JJ's going to want to be on the field. He's going to want to earn his extra money. But I don't know that they rush him back. And even as they do rush him back, I don't know how passionate that team is about performing, so
I think
it's hard.
I think they all have too much pride to just lay down and give up and throw their hands in the air.
It's not about them though. If you're Minnesota and you're saying, okay, we're at a pinnacle point where I'm going to decide if I'm going to sign this guy to a huge contract, right? Or I'm going to, play him and he may re-injure or get hurt again. Like, what are you weighing? Like, we're trying to get in the heads of these people. But what I'm saying is, if you have to live on Ayuk and Cooper, like, I'm worried unless you have significant, like, somebody else that you can grab. If you have to live on Ayuk and Cooper, I mean, CD's wide receiver 13. He's double digits every week. I would have trouble letting that go for JJ on the whim that he comes back, because even Cup's hammy injury hung around a lot longer than he thought it would, and hammies tend to do that. And so it's just a lot of risk there to give up such a thing that can probably get you a few more wins and guarantee the playoffs for you.
It's true. It is a risky move. And Ayuk, week 9 bye. So Cooper's already passed his. Ayuk, week 9 bye. When is Jefferson supposed to be back? Week 9? That seems right.
No, week 10, I think.
Week 10? Oof.
He's out 6 through 9, right?
But you're getting really close to the playoffs at that point. And then check this. Vikings bye week is week 13 at the end of the season. So you're also going to lose them for that week.
That's tough.
I'm going to go find the Jefferson owner in every league and hope they're thinking what you're thinking. And I'm going to go buy them up.
Yeah, I don't think Jefferson's injury was really bad. I think they placed him on IR because they didn't want to rush him back. I think it was a bit of an overcompensation for it already. Just a thought. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I don't know shit. So
let me ask you this.
He just didn't look like he pulled up that hard to be out 4 weeks.
So let's say he comes back week 9. You realize you get Justin Jefferson for only 3 weeks before playoffs.
3 amazing, sexy, point-filled weeks going into the playoffs.
To get you into the playoffs, you're out. And then he's back for the playoffs, where then you just run the gambit and win it.
Wait, you getting back week 9 and you get 3 weeks for the playoffs?
No, you're getting back week 10, right?
You get them back week 10.
You back week 10.
Then you have 10, 11, and 12. You have to hope for no injury. And then week 13, you're on a bye. Then typically fantasy playoffs either start week 14 or week 15.
15, 16, and 17, typically. Because they extended to 18. 18 is the non-play week. Now.
So even then, 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I just don't know that I can give. I don't know on
4 great weeks and the playoffs. I'm about it. If he's got more depth beyond just those 2 receivers. If he's only
be really nice if he's gonna deal Lamb, it would be nice if he could get another like wide receiver, even if it's like middle tier with Jefferson to at least create some kind of bandwidth because I'm worried.
It's a 9-team league. You can go pick up a placeholder off of waivers like Downs or something, probably.
Who are your other wide receivers? Do you have anybody else? Are you giving is Ayuk and Cooper like the pinnacle in this 9-team league of your wide receivers? And we're going so in depth to your question because we appreciate the super chat. We love the support, guys. Thank you so much for supporting us and what we're doing. Like, subscribe to the channel, and we really appreciate them super chats.
Yeah. Also, we do have to hurry up on this a little bit because we got 9 minutes left in the show, and we have some other questions we got to answer. So, but here's the thing: it's a risk, one way or another.
It's absolutely a risk.
You're either risking not getting Jefferson back, or you're missing not having Jefferson.
Okay, right? He says he could get Myers. Do that. Get Myers
or Ridley.
He says Myers or Ridley. Get either one of them with him, and you're perfect.
Yeah, I'm good with that. If you can have Myers and Ridley, I like it.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. Get you an insurance policy thrown in there. So, yep. All right, let's see. Let me get back up here. Where is it? Okay. Is Kayvon or I Murray worth picking up? L Murray. Sorry. I know it looks like I, but Latavius Murray. Or
if you need a bench stash running back, I'd probably grab Murray.
Yeah.
But I'm not excited about either one of them.
Nah, because you're going to have to drop somebody that's probably more important than either one of them, would be my guess. So, if I send my whole team about Dynasty my picks, can y'all give me some moves to make? If you go to fantasyfootballadvice.com and get signed up, we can take more time on something like that. I promise you. That's what that's for over there.
Yeah, at fantasyfootballadvice.com, you can post your images of your roster. You can post questions, and we will absolutely, along with a ton of other fantasy football enthusiasts / content creators, will give you advice on those moves to make. But those bigger questions like that, definitely fantasyfootballadvice.com. Remember, it's free to sign up. So that doesn't cost you a thing. If you want to do the pro membership, there's a code to get 25% off. But that's the best place for us to give you in-depth analysis.
Yep.
Yeah, we can really sink our teeth into that over there.
Yep, for sure. All right, let me get back over here really quick. Tony Jason or more, any worth picking up?
Not in redraft.
I'd
grab JSN if it was Dynasty, but in redraft, I'm not worried about any of them.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. How about you, Tyler?
I might take a risk on Tony. It seems like him and Mahomes are vibing a little bit more, but I'm not like breaking the bank to get any of these guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Reese says, or Reese, I don't know. Now I'm hungry.
I'm pretty sure it's Reese. Yeah,
I know, but now I just can't help but want a peanut butter cup.
Maybe it's French. You say.
Fields is out, and I need to stream a QB this week. Drop Collins, Higgins, Wilson, Madison, White, or Pitts. Lose the week.
Just punt the week and
trade.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Trade.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I would pair Madison and White and go try to get like a better running back.
Here's also a suggestion.
Or Madison and Collins would be a good team up too, probably.
If you have to drop somebody to pick up a QB, my suggestion would be your kicker. And just don't play with a kicker this week. I would rather that than dropping any of these players to waivers.
I'm playing without kickers or defense in a lot of leagues this week because I don't have anybody I can drop to pick up new ones because I have like Cowboys D and like the top kicker.
So I would rather play without a defense or a kicker than to drop any of those guys.
Yeah, the issue is time. The time is the issue, and you don't have time to really pull off a trade quickly. I do like the idea of dropping like a position that you can stream, like kicker or something like that, to give you time to work a deal to pair two of these for a better player, and then stream a quarterback. I mean, if it's a one quarterback league, there's probably lots of guys out there on waivers that you can grab up and play this week.
Unless,
Yeah.
unless you're like my work league where everybody hoards 3 in a 1-quarterback league for no reason at all. They do it every year. I don't know why.
Oh, Jorge says, no, the guy with the best record traded, the 5-1 guy traded Allen for Waddle. Got it.
That
was cleared that up.
He's about to be 5-2.
Let's see. Hurting at running back this year after losing. Ooh, yeah. Javonte not living up to the deal there. Should I trade Tua for T-Law, Jerome Ford, and Jalen Warren? I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. Jerome Ford's going to do pretty well for you.
Yeah.
Warren's been out playing Najee, so I would take that.
I mean, Warren's been out playing Javonte at this point, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep, I would do that.
Okay, Caden says, in desperate need of running backs and very deep at wide receivers, should I trade Lamar, Pittman, Hopkins for T-Law, Mixon, and Garrett Wilson? I mean, I don't know how that. Yeah, never mind. I read that wrong. So sorry. Oh, yeah, I think I would do that.
Oh, is that? I think that's the same question he posted down. He did a super chat down there.
Huh.
He said his wide receivers are loaded. I mean, if I can give up Pittman and Hopkins, I like Pittman more with the stash throwing the ball. Obviously, we saw that effect last week. But I like T-Law. If I need the running back, I'm grabbing Mixon. I like it.
I like it.
Running backs currently are James Cook and Dameon Pierce. Also.
Do that trade.
Do it.
I like it.
Do it.
For sure. All right.
Thanks for supporting, Caden.
Yeah, and JC's right. Hamstrings aren't something to play around with.
It's Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And Julio Jones.
Jorge wants to know, get worried about Puka?
He's fine.
Is okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
He's okay.
Jorge always panics after.
He literally had a touchdown that he didn't catch, but it was an easy touchdown. Like, he's going to be fine. He's still going to get it.
Love this. Look at that. If he does that trade, his wide receivers are going to be A.J. Brown, Lamb, Wilson.
So you gain running backs and your receivers are still ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. You may be able to flip Zay for.
Yeah, Zay's coming on. I like Zay a lot.
Yep, I love it.
And you hold the Lamar guy hostage, because if Lamar's throwing to Zay, you're still beating him.
Yep. Ford and a mid to late fourth for Zay Jones and a mid second. PPR Dynasty.
Ford and a mid to late fourth for Zay Jones.
I don't give a crap about Zay Jones in Dynasty.
Do you give a crap about Ford in Dynasty?
A little bit.
So the move really, Zay is probably like next year, like Zay's a fourth. Like Zay's like a deep roster that if you happen to play in the week, you play like you got lucky. The question is really, do you trade Jerome Ford for a mid-second? And I think the answer to that question is probably yes.
It depends. Like, if you're trying to win this year, I'd hang on to Ford and ride him out. But if you're rebuilding, yeah, I'd get that second for him.
Oh, so he said down at the bottom that he wrote that wrong. He would be getting Ford. So he would be giving a mid-second and Zay for a late fourth and Ford. If you're win now, sure. Otherwise, I keep the second.
Yeah, the second is more valuable there.
I agree with that.
I drafted both Roshan and Brian Robinson back-to-back years in the second round.
Yeah. Let's see really quick. Let me get back up here. Heyo, got Kamara and ETN in full PPR league. Do I start them even with both playing Thursday night football? Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
That's like they're wondering about the curse of Thursday night football.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that. Here we go.
Kamara has been 18, 15, 18 points a game, depending on your scoring system. He's going to be all right. And Thielen is killing it.
Yeah, him and ETN, I'm playing both of them. How y'all feel about Deontay Johnson?
Well, I think he'll be fine if he ever comes back.
If he plays, he'll be fine.
When is he supposed to come back? I've lost track.
I have no idea, honestly.
I want to say this week.
He's expected to practice this week.
Yeah, I think I think this is the week he's supposed. Didn't he go on like week 2 or 3?
Yes.
So it should
He
should be back this week. I thought maybe next week.
I mean, he hasn't played since week 1, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I like him when he's back.
Yep.
Pickens is the man there now.
Here we go. What about Rachaad White instead of Warren in that deal? Which one would you rather have? I'd rather have Rachaad White over Warren because at least White is a starter.
There's no conundrum of who's the guy in Tampa.
Yeah, there's been a few conspiracies that Sean Tucker or Keyshawn Vaughn, they're not taking that spot from him.
Yep. That damn D-Hop effed me over Sunday. Yeah, he's –
You and me both, Millie Mills.
Yep.
Luckily, a couple I was still able to get the W, but, we definitely didn't see the 140 yards he had the week before.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I didn't get out of Addison with no JJ what I hoped for against Chicago either this weekend. So
no, that was rough. Which package would you take from Fantasy Football Advice? What is that?
I think he's asking which membership would you do as a pro member?
Oh, veteran. Unless you're a content creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get more stuff that you can do, more posts and questions you can ask.
I'm telling you, polls are the way to go, man. Polls is how you get a lot of feedback really quick from more people, and that will unlock polling for you. And you can post an image of your roster with a poll on there. So there's it's dynamic to where you can do that. Now you even talk about a way to get feedback really quick. I mean, people don't mind voting on a poll really quick. That's compared to typing something out. So you can get a lot of feedback really quick on a poll. Let's see. J Love, G Smith, Howell. So Love, Smith, Howell worth picking up for Dak or stick with Dak as my backup. Tyler, what do you think?
I'm sticking with Dak as the backup.
Honestly, they all feel pretty much.
They feel the same.
Yeah. So fine. If he's your backup, go look and see what week your starter has their bye, and look and see which one has the best matchup that week, and go with them.
Yep.
This would be. Let's see. What's your order, Kyle? Like how do you order them?
Starter's backup week.
I mean, like in a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I don't know. Probably Dak, Hal, Love, Geno.
Yeah, Geno had a crazy year last year. He's not doing the same.
I mean, like I said, they're all real close, so I'm not.
Yeah, it's just the same kind of tier. So, alrighty, we got 3 more questions here. Let's knock those out real quick, and then we'll wrap it up on the night. Is Sanders worth adding over Rice? Yeatman wants to know.
Only if you need a receiver or a running back. I mean, otherwise, probably rather have Rice in a vacuum.
Yeah. Maybe. Tyler, you got anything else on that? Or you good?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same. Should I panic with Bijan, or am I just overthinking?
You're overthinking.
Yep.
You're overthinking. The talent's definitely, I mean, it's going to be there. The only thing that worries me is they did say they were going to start getting Cordero Patterson a little bit more involved, but it's still Bijan. I don't think that anybody else hurts, and I mean, it's Bijan. Like, you're going to be all right.
Yep.
Cordero Patterson will affect Algier before he'll affect Bijan, trust me.
And that's just over the ability to punch in at the goal line, which is surprisingly for Patterson.
Surprisingly. All right. Tingley says start Pacheco or Flowers at flex.
Pacheco.
Who does Flowers play? Detroit? Yeah, you got to go Pacheco. Just
I think I'm Pacheco on
the sheer amount of volume that guy's going to get. It's ridiculous.
And just being in scoring position often. I mean, that offense all the time. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If we didn't get to your question tonight, or you have more questions, or you just love fantasy football, go to fantasyfootballadvice.com, get signed up. It's free to sign up. You can upgrade to a pro membership if you want, but it's free. Get over there, ask your questions, give advice, get more content, more videos like this. You can read articles, listen to podcasts as well. So get on over there, join the community, and help each other win some championships. And we're on there answering questions all the time as well. We do have a mobile app which will be also updated soon. So go over there, check that out, have fun, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Good luck on the waiver wire tonight, and we'll see you guys later in the week. Tyler, Kyle, had fun. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Always
hanging
a
out,
good
guys.
time.
See you guys. Deuces.